No one wants to look like a chicken. A well-developed chest and upper body, but with legs that look like skinny sticks in comparison? It's no wonder as many guys really hate leg day. Leg workouts are incredibly boring. They're hard, and they're not as immediately noticeable as training other areas of your body like chest and shoulders. And you can hide underdeveloped legs behind baggy pants. It's easy to forget about legs because most of the time they do the job for us. We walk around, ride a bike, jog, and get up out of our bed and chairs. Fine, right? No, let's not make that mistake. In this video, we're going to get the absolute most out of the leg workout in the least amount of time, with the least amount of pain, and with the effective and aesthetic results to benefit you the most. And spoiler, there are only 4 basic exercises needed. All right, let's get into it. We live in sedentary times. We've gotten so good with modern conveniences that our need for physical movement has gone down tremendously. We've all sat around the house, watched TV or a movie or video game, and did literally no movement all day. We didn't have to. We don't have to go hunting for food or any other activity that our bodies are built for because we have all these conveniences. It's also in our nature to be as efficient as possible. It's hardwired into the human psyche, mostly because it was so rare to get. Not anymore. And those inherent traits for efficiency and rest are now plaguing us. And there is no area quite as obvious where we struggle the most. It's the legs. It's when they don't work that all of this comes back and smacks us right in the face. Knee pain, a sore back, shin splints, and grunting and groaning when we get out of our friend's low-profile couch. Think of having strong and healthy legs the same as you would strong and healthy teeth. You don't think about your teeth until you have a toothache or other problem. And then, oh, is it ever a nightmare to have pain with your teeth? Issues with eating, drinking, severe headaches, inability to sleep, the list goes on. Same with legs. You don't think about the knee or back issues until they arrive. But what a nightmare. Not being able to move without pain, pain in the night that keeps you up, not having the mobility to do the most simple things in life. Anyone who's had lower back spasm knows this very well. The pain is debilitating. And at its core is the fact that a strong set of legs will keep you on the path to optimal health and strength. And strong and athletic legs look terrific. As we said, they don't initially stand out like chest and shoulders, but someone with well-developed legs just has the whole package. We're not talking about monster-sized legs that make baggy pants look form-fitting. No, just strong, aesthetic legs. Legs that complement your entire body. As we seek the V-taper from our shoulders to our waist, we don't want that resting on a pair of sticks for legs. We are actually looking after the X-style physique. So when the V-taper hits the waist, we are then looking for our body to move outward again from the waist to the hips and thighs. And this, of course, is riding on the fact that aesthetic legs are ideally capable, strong, and allow us to do whatever mobility functions in life that we need. Just like when we were kids with boundless energy. Okay, legs are critical. So what do we do to overcome the boredom and hatred of these exercises? Simple. We make them time efficient, incredibly effective, and perhaps with a little bit of fun. So let's start this off by admitting that the most effective exercise for legs is also the most boring, the squat. There isn't anything particularly cool or interesting about lowering your pelvis to the floor, then rising back up again. It doesn't look cool, and we do it every time we get out of a chair. So the basic squat then is literally the movement from a standing position until your thighs are 90 degrees with the ground. There is no need to go beyond 90 degrees. You will see some advice to go all the way down past 90 degrees until your calves and hamstrings touch or where your glutes are very close to the ground. Not only is this unnecessary and rather unnatural movement for your body, but the risk for injury is substantially increased. For instance, when your calves push against your hamstrings, it's your knees that take the bulk of the pressure. This is the same pressure that can result in an ACL injury. That is a forward thrust put on your lower leg. Stick to 90 degrees, period. For variations, try foot placement. Have your feet in the most comfortable and natural position, about shoulder width apart. This is where the majority of the time is spent regarding foot position. Do your squat from here. Next, move to a narrow stance. Much like when you're on a pair of snow skis, your feet are about 3 to 6 inches apart. Your inner thighs might even touch. Take care in the narrow stand that your back is straight and strong and that you keep your chest up. You want to fight the impulse to bend forward at the waist. Instead, keep your chest out and even look up if it helps. Having the right posture in any squat is paramount. Finally, the wide stance. Think about getting into a position to play defense in basketball or soccer. or to be able to move laterally when defending in football. So we're not talking about extremely wide feet. No, we want a natural stance and one that we would use in particular situations like sports. Here, your feet will naturally want to move outward a bit. Let them. Your guide again is what feels natural and comfortable when your feet are in this wide stance. You will likely feel some impact on your inner thigh muscles as they engage for balance. One super important tip with squats: if you start to feel any pain sensation at all, stop, especially on the inner thighs. This is your body telling you that any more exercise will not be good for you. Oftentimes, it's the next day that the same spot will be very sore. So listen to your body. Any slight pain sensation in a squat or any exercise is not something you want to push through. Stop, give your body some days to rest, and assess from there. Now let's talk about weight. In most cases, you do not need any weight at all. Just the simple movement of a squat is enough for your muscle growth and strength. That is what happens in nature. But if we want to mimic the movement of climbing or going uphill, adding weight is quite effective. As with all muscle growth, you want to push yourself to the point where the exercise is quite difficult in your last reps, and this is personal only to you. So if adding weight is your next progression, dumbbells fit perfectly. Not only does it put less strain on your back compared to a bar on your shoulders, but also naturally forces your back to remain straight as you keep the dumbbells straight down at your side. If you bend forward, the dumbbells will strain your back, and it's much more natural and comfortable to have the back straight and move down vertically. You can, of course, use a bar and add some plates at the gym, but take particular caution to perform the squat with perfect form to avoid any strain on your back or shoulders, or using too much weight or depth putting strain on your knees. So how many reps then? 8. 8 reps is our target. For some starting out, this can be too much even without weight. Others will need much more weight. It's all personal, of course. But for those not wanting to use weight, let's add some fun. Go for the vertical. Put a jump in at the top of the squat. No weights, just explode up from the bottom of the squat position. Obviously, do this with a lot of care and control, especially on the landing. But jump squats can have the same desired result as adding weight, with the additional benefit of providing direct training to the movements used all the time in sports. Basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, you name it. A jump is a very natural move and one that, if incorporated into a squat, can be very effective and fun. If done right, you will spend much less time on a rather boring exercise, get the exact gains and strength you're looking for, and perhaps making them a little bit fun, or at least more enjoyable. So if squats are the king of the leg exercises, then lunges are the queen. Of course, here we are using the most natural movement we use when walking, running, and climbing a hill. Like squats, this is also a compound exercise that hits your glutes, quads, hamstrings, and all the stabilizer muscles in the calves and inner thighs. Here again, keep it simple and short. Focus on the most natural movement and you will be in the right spot. That said, there is one area to keep particular focus on during a lunge. Be sure that your knee does not track too far over your toes. As we discussed with the squat, you are similarly putting too much stress on the knee, and in this position, it's very unlikely you'd utilize this form in nature. So let's stay away from injury and keep the focus on working out the leg individually. Same as with squats, we are looking for 8 reps and 3 sets. Dumbbells work great here too. For intensity without weights, you can do jump lunges. This is the lunge where you again explode up, and while in midair, you switch your legs and land on the other in a lunge position. As with all plyometrics, be very careful here and listen to your body, but it's a great way to add efficiency and variety to a short but intense lunge routine. The third key leg exercise is the deadlift. This seems to be one of the more trendy exercises at the gym. Lots of folks filming themselves lifting a lot of weight, wearing that impressive weight belt around their waist, and letting the bar slam back down to the ground when they're done. Waste of time. While the exercise is very legitimate and important, you do not need a ton of weight to be effective. And like with other extreme exercises, the risk of injury far outweighs the gains obtained, or the gawking looks from others at the gym. Instead, focus on the core movement without any weight, just as you would in a natural way picking up an item off the floor. While ideally you'd bend your legs and lift properly like a squat, if you bend at the waist and move vertically, there will be a great amount of stress on your lower back. Take incredible care when doing a deadlift. Your focus should be solely on the glutes and your hamstrings, with particular attention not to strain your back. We again do not need any weight if this move is new. Adding dumbbells is often enough to get the intensity level needed at the 8 rep target. But unlike squats and lunges, this is a much more specific exercise and therefore a tier down in effectiveness. Try to incorporate them into your routine, but if this is too difficult or you simply do not have the time, then leave them out. They're not nearly on the level of squats and lunges, and if these are troublesome for any reason, focus instead on the squat and lunge. Last, but certainly not least, is a part of the leg that is consistently overlooked, the calves. It's a bit like the legs generally, as calves do not present themselves as show-off muscles, and we tend to overlook them as they always seem to operate and function just fine. But like with our toothache example, we really regret neglecting calf development when an injury occurs. And the injuries here can be devastating and severe. From the common shin splints that can hobble you temporarily to the horrific Achilles tendon rupture that has also been linked to calf development and in particular calf tightness. The rehab for an Achilles rupture can put you on crutches for months and add sometimes a year of rehab for building back your foot and calf muscles that have atrophied. We don't want to see the calves then ballooned out either. Or as some would joke, cows, not calves. Rather, our goal is again presented to us as we would use our calves in nature, the movement from a flat foot up to your tiptoes. We use this motion all the time, and in our earlier examples is a key function in sports with a vertical jump. So the exercise is simple. Stand up and lift up on your toes. Literally, that's it. We can add some variety and have the toes pointed forward, pointed inward, or pointed outward. This will emphasize different parts of the calf muscle and are part of our natural movement. Dumbbells can help those who are more advanced, and adding in some jumps or plyo will make the exercise much more fun and interesting. And do not overextend your calf by placing your toes on a block or anything else. This will only put strain on areas that you don't want and is very rarely found in any natural movement. Keep your feet flat and rise up. So avoid the chicken legs and keep leg days short and simple. Add some fun variations and keep the intensity high. In no time, you will be well on your way to your ideal X-look aesthetic and be a force to reckon with. Take a look at this video for more male fitness mastery, and we'll see you next time.